Hi guys. Um, I probably don't look great. I think I never do on these things. Scroll Writer, I do remember last time you saying, we'd like to see your long hair. I usually have a bad habit of putting it in a ponytail, and it's not as long as it was. Once it gets down to about here, it starts to split all the way up. And then I did this because my hair is so fine, it gets in my ears and it dances all over my face. It makes me nuts. So I just like removed that. So that's my new punk look, for somebody who's anything but punk. Anyway, hello, everybody. I know it is forever since I last posted. We already know how lazy I am with typing, and schoolwork makes everything insane. Supposedly, I will be graduating March of 2027, so we'll see. It's kind of amazing. 4 years of being pretty much separated from you guys, which is, it makes me sad, and I'm wondering how many of you guys are even bothering to listen to this because Mandy went AWOL like yonks ago. And I wouldn't blame you at all. But at the same time, I miss you guys, and I often think, gosh, I would love so much to be on LiveJournal, but life has just been insane. Especially the last couple of months. May has been a doozy for me. Uh, I will say it kicked off pretty good. Um, so at kind of like the end of March, beginning of April, I was getting pestered a whole lot by the place where I bought my car, and oh, I did turn in your car, and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I mean, it was a constant spamming. So I went in there and I was like, okay, wow me. I'll bet you cannot find me a used all electric. I've now got a used all electric. She's a 2025 Kia Wind, as they put her. But she is all electric. So for literally the past 2 months, I have not paid a gas bill at all. So that's new. I call her the Green Lady. I'm probably going to just completely mangle this, but I've got her a name listed officially as Madine Un. It's probably Unan. Like I said, I would mangle it, but it's kind of the overall term for the Green Lady. So my last car wasn't named, which is weird for me. But this one is, and I've had her for a couple of months. She is marvelous. She's all electric. There's been so many times I've gotten out of the car and the car starts yelling because I haven't turned her off. Because she's so quiet. I forget to turn her off. But that's not like the only big event. Of course, as you know, FIFA is coming, and I work for Sound Transit, so we have a lot of events that have happened. Um, I think I updated everybody that in November, um, I was hired on directly by Sound Transit, as part of security, dispatching. I was hoping to go further than security dispatching. Not quite yet. I've done some training. I've done a lot of badging systems, audits, things like that, because of course that's my fun times there. But so far, not really gotten my feet wet. Well, hilariously enough, at the beginning of next month, in June, I'm going to be doing 2 days at my old location that I spent 2.5 years in, and 3 days in Seattle. So I'm going to be doing dispatching again. Keep your fingers crossed for me that I haven't forgotten everything. And we'll be working with a new system that we've trained everybody on for dispatch. So doubly keep your fingers crossed for me. I wanted to update because I had like a major life event that I know you guys would probably be upset about if I didn't tell you about. Some of you already do know, because I messaged you directly and was like, oh, this happened. And then went on with my day while you guys kind of freaked out a little bit. So on the 7th, I went into work, took the bus because, I live in Tacoma. I am not driving into Seattle. I just, no. I hate driving into Seattle. So, I took a bus because I'm like, I'm not slogging up that daggone hill to get to the Sounder train. Well, while I'm on the bus, I get kind of like this twinge right here, and I'm like, oh man, I better not have pulled a muscle. So I get to work, and right about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I've taken over badging. We're supposed to be like going to these different training meetings and this, that, and the other. And the guy who normally does badging, who's part of my team, he went to go do that. I was like, yeah, yeah, you go ahead. I'll do that tomorrow. That did not happen. So 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's like, man, this daggone pulled muscle. It's like it's moving. And it's up my shoulder blade, and I'm like, man, this really sucks. About halfway through the day, trying to breathe was a problem. It was pretty freaking bad. Um, as I'm trying to like leave work around 4:30, which is when I get off of work, as I'm heading down to the sounder, I have to keep dropping my bag because it's so freaking heavy and like practically bend in half because oh my god, trying to catch my breath is ridiculous. Uh, I managed to, make it to the sounder the whole entire time. Every jig, it was insane. I was like feeling it the whole entire way. Um, one of my teammates, who also is, he's training for superintendent, uh, for our security operations. He like gives me in a leave. I'm like, hopefully that will help. And then I have to make the long slog to my car. Now, normally this takes about 7 minutes. I don't think about it. Go down the hill, down to the OMF, go through the gate, get to my car. It took me 20 minutes. At one point in time, I dropped my bag, and I'm not going to be delicate about it. I swear I almost peed myself, and I let out enough air for like two people. And I told myself at that time, I'm like, that's not awesome. I managed to like make it through the building, drop my bag outside near this one area where it's a smoking section, and I'm like, I have to go back inside. I trudged back inside, up up the elevator, which gravity at this point is insane to me. Up the elevator, go down the hall, go to the bathroom, have to slog all the way back, pick up my bag. I don't want to, and like go to my car, which seems like it's 5,000 years away. I had already called my husband, like, right around noon and told him, I'm like, man, I really did something. I mean, I don't know what the heck I did. And he was like, well, it sounds to me like when I collapsed my lungs like 25, 20, 25 years ago. And I'm like, no, that's not what this is. I was supposed to stop by the store. There was no way. There was no way. I like got to my house, go up the steps because I live on the second floor. And I get there and I tell my husband, I'm like, you're gonna actually have to go get my bag. There's no way I'm going back down there. I am not lifting that thing. Somehow it became 5,000 pounds. I'm like, and he was like, are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital? I'm like, no, we'll just throw some Tiger Balm on. We'll call it good, and we'll see. So he throws some Tiger Balm on my back, which I mean, Tiger Balm's great. But it was not able to even touch this. I mean, my whole entire back immediately started burning, which is telling me, okay, okay, there's something wrong. I'm trying to fix it. And my husband goes to get him and the baby something to eat. My eldest is out and about. He's not going to be home for like another couple of days or whatever. And so my youngest and my husband eat. I make sure that they eat. I'm like, okay, you actually ate something. I was so mad because I was going to come home and fix dinner, and that didn't happen. So after they get done eating, it's around 8:30, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm like super ticked off. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and call my work and let them know that I might not be in. And we went to the hospital. Blood oxygen, all of my vitals, of course, are fantastic. You know what I mean? Of course they are. But I mean, we get to this hospital. I love this place. They're amazing. And I mean, my butt hasn't even hit the bench, and they're calling me back. And they do, they check everything. I tell them what happened. I'm like, yeah, at work, I think I pulled a muscle. That's probably all this is. I just did it really, really good. And they were like, okay, we'll see. And they took me back for X-ray. Once again, my butt barely hit the freaking bench, and they were like, come here. No, 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 no. And they tell me, I'm like, you're going to need to get my husband if this is, something big. And they tell me, well, your lung is collapsed. And when did you say this started? I'm like, probably about as I arrived at work between 7:15, 7:30. It felt like I pulled a muscle in my back. And they were like, okay, so you've been walking around for approximately 14 hours with collapsed lung. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. I mean, only I would do something that monumentally stupid and be like, oh, I don't want to tell my boss that I gotta go. Ugh, man, I don't want to do that. So my dumbass walks around with a collapsed lung. My body was trying to indicate to me, you're gonna die. And I was just like, nah, I come from the South, slap some dirt on it, walk it off. There's no walking this off. They were like, you've been walking around the collapsed lung for 14 hours. We aren't waiting to take you anywhere. We are going to put a tube in you right here in the ER. They did. And they told me pretty much where. They're like, we're going to put it right here, in the upper quadrants. We're not, nicking anything vital. We're not, we're not hitting any major organs or any major arteries or any major nerves. We're just going to go right through here. So, approximately 10:30 at night on the 7th, I had a tube inserted in my chest to pull all the air out. Um, of course, their reasons were varied. These people didn't even know I smoked. My lungs everywhere. When they took a look, my lungs looked clear. So they were like, well, it could be, have you ever had asthma? I'm like, I had asthma, off and on when I was a teenager. It was more of an emotional variety. I had bronchitis all the way up to like 12, 13. I was, chronic bronchitis. Then they found out I smoked. So, of course, my smoking, they're like, oh, that's what did it. I'm like, no, no, no. I used to be a pack and a half a day. For the last 6, 7 years, I've been half a pack a day, if that. And that doesn't explain a blister on the outside of the lung. It just doesn't. So they don't know. But what I got was essentially a blister on the outside of the lungs, pretty much what my husband got 25 years ago. And that was it. It created it's a weakened point, so it created a hole in the lung. Of course, since my lung has collapsed once, I'm more prone for that to happen to me than to anybody who hasn't had a collapse lung. So that's pretty amazing. I spent about 4 days because technically I was, put into a room right around midnight. So I spent like 4 days flat on my back, but I healed up pretty quick. I'll say this: I have a pretty high pain threshold, and I heal up pretty fast. There's downsides to that, but I like that. They were just like, "Wow, you're 48 years old, and you're like healing up pretty fast." Yeah. My first day in, I don't really remember much. I do know food was not a welcome thing. I was like, no to no food. No, 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 no. They wanted to give me more pain medication than I really wanted. They were like, well, we can give you 4, milligrams or whatever of morphine. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'll take 2. And they were like, we don't want you to be in pain. I'm like, well, I probably won't be in pain because a 5 for me is a 7 or 8 for anybody else. But, you know, I want to knock it down, but not be completely out of it because I'm the type of person, I'll move around, I'll do something dumb, and I'll make this worse. So, 4 days. Um, on the third day, they shut off the suction. and turned off the water seal. I mean, literally, they weren't getting any liquid or anything from me that they were expecting. They were like, okay, this is actually looking pretty good. I guess we'll just go ahead and just shut this down. They shut it down, they turned off the water seal, and then at 9 o'clock in the morning on the fourth day, they removed the tube. I have like three little dots right there. Um, Mostly what got me, the only thing that really made me scream was I had a muscle cramp, like right, that muscle band right there on the right hand side. Just did this and this. I mean, the only thing that made me scream. It felt like my muscles were trying to rip themselves out of my back and chest. I still, that's literally the last thing that I have to deal with right now is the fact that that musculature still hurts after all this time. I got out of the hospital and I gave myself another 2 days so I could rest up and heal. Of course, what did I do? I came home, like did laundry, cleaned my house, fed everybody because I was pissed. Got some schoolwork done. I basically did the opposite of what I told myself I would do and, put like 110% to pretend like everything was freaking normal. I did my follow-up um, on Wednesday, this last Wednesday, and they told me that everything's good, everything looks great. You should stop smoking, which is hilarious because I had stopped smoking. And I mean, when you're in the hospital, you don't really have much of a choice, and I'm not going anywhere. But I came back and I spent my 2 days off. I did rest up a little bit. Like the last 2 days, I did rest up a little bit, and I went back to work on Friday. I don't think that the superintendent who was on realized what I had gone to the hospital for, because I come in on Friday. Friday is just absolute hell. They needed somebody to fill a dispatch seat. Now, I haven't worked Seattle dispatch for 3 years. I know very, very little about Seattle. So I'm completely out of my comfort zone. And I literally was just in the hospital with a collapsed lung, and you want me to talk for like hours on end. Okay. Friday was just a very, very bad day. And Friday was also the day I realized that I came away from the hospital with, pretty much a healed up lung. Um, but I also came away with a very, very nasty cold. Because the last 2 days out of the hospital, I was like, tastes like attic. Why does everything taste like attic? It tasted like attic because I had a cold. I've literally just defeated the cold yesterday. So, but I was, taking all my medications. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And on Friday night, it had just been such a bad day. And it was mostly, I was hurting. I was tired. I mean, I was in dispatch for only like an hour or two. I came out of it, went to go help with phones, but I was just in such a shitty mood. I came home, everything tastes like attic. Because it tastes like, and I have to cough because, of course, a cold, which makes me paranoid. So I was just in an all around shitty mood, and I was like, you know what? I want ice cream. I want Sprite, and I'm going to get a cigarette. Screw all this. Which was exactly what I did. The ice cream should have tipped me off immediately that, the taste of attic and the coughing is a cold. It was only after I ate like 2 bowls of ice cream that I figured that out. Anytime I want ice cream or I want ice cold milk with ice cubes in it, me and milk do not get along. I love ice cream, but ice cream just does not agree with me at all. So, yeah, um, I'm gonna have to restart the whole stopping smoking thing. Hubby's gonna do it with me. But yeah, I slid right back down that rabbit hole. The good thing is that I guess for somebody with a collapsed lung, I did quite well, healed fast, and I'm in pretty good shape. But yes, my lung collapsed on the 7th. I was out by the 12th, back at work on the 15th. I filed for FMLA. Uh, once all the paperwork's in, which once again, it's waiting on the doctors. They literally just turned it in on Friday. It's to see if it goes through. If it does, they're going to give me back any PTO that I lost and give me any pay that I may have lost. Um, like the first day they can't pay for, so either which way it goes, I've lost 8 hours. My pay statement said I lost 8 hours, so I don't really understand what the difference is going to be. I did go through, and like the next Monday that I came in, any doctor's appointments that I had for like the next 2 months, I reset. We got our new schedule, so starting in June, on Sundays and Mondays, during the mornings, I'm gonna be in Tacoma. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, see, still got a little bit of it. Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursdays, I'm gonna be in Seattle. I have Fridays and Saturdays off. Because of my seniority status, I got to actually pick what days I wanted, when, where, how. Um, so yeah, starting in June, 5 days a week, 6 to 2. Um, it's going to be a wild ride. I think my FMLA will come through for my collapsed lung incident. Uh, Somehow, inexplicably, I received an email on Monday while I'm like shuffling my days out because I'm like, I was completely, I had like literally 2 days worth of PTO, 2.5 days worth of paid time off that went to this paycheck. And I think somebody donated some time too. So that really saved my butt. But literally, literally, I had practically nothing. So I had PTO set for these doctor's visits. I shuffled everything to Friday because literally for the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to be off on Fridays. So I shuffled everything out to Fridays. So I have all these doctor's appointments, dental appointments, everything else are going to be set for Fridays so that I can just build PTO and it can just sit there. It can sit there. Just no, it can sit there because I'm not going to be caught flat-footed like this again. Um, so yeah, that was the beginning of May for me. On Monday, while I'm shuffling all this out, I receive an email from like benefits, HR. It's a certain program they use telling me that I got a raise. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because I knew they were doing raises for everybody else, cost of living increases, things like that, yada, yada, yada. My benefits are great, which is hilarious because I never thought I'd work for a place that had benefits. It's usually like the last thing on my mind. But benefits have actually seriously worked out for me. It usually wasn't something I focused on. I'm more like, am I going to get paid? That's, poor mentality. When you spend most of your life in poverty, you're thinking, I'm more interested in this. Everything else can go fuck off. Seriously. But I get a call telling me, an email telling me you're going to receive a raise. I'm like, oh, okay, it'd probably be like 25 cents. It is not 25 cents. Let's just say my pay jumps by about $10,000 overall. I'm still trying to process that. Of course, me being me, instead of going, oh my God, yay, I went, oh shit, because I'm already paying taxes to the IRS. Long story. Well, long story is I accidentally left my eldest on. He hit 19. IRS went, fuck you. And so I'm like, oh, okay, great. Had to pay that off. I've been doing that for almost a year. And then I was like, screw that. I'm not doing that again. I went ahead and like after, my youngest, he's turning 18 later this year. I've already removed him as dependent. I'm like, no, that's okay. 500 bucks is not worth $3,000. Well, I got hit with another 1,400. So I'm still steadily trying to pay that. That's fun for me. Um, so I'm getting, the only thing I can think when I get this raise is, great, I just jumped another tax bracket. That's going to be more taxes I have to pay that I'm not going to be able to predict and or pay off immediately. So, sourpuss over here. I think I'm just trying to still absorb the fact that I just received a raise. Um, and then like literally this past weekend, I don't know if my bank is like watching stuff like this or something, but literally my credit card received another 5,000 to it. And my first instinct was, "Oh no, why did you do that? I don't want that." I guess it's kind of funny because I'm so used to being poor. I spend most of my time still thinking like a poor person and going, "Oh no, why are you giving me this money? I would probably spend it. What are you doing?" I, what the, so yeah, only I could take good news and go, "Oh man, that sucks." So May has been eventful, to say the least. It has been very eventful. Collapsed lung, come back to work, get a schedule that has me half in Tacoma, half in Seattle, rearrange all of my stuff that I was going to use for PTO, freed up any PTO I might get back from FMLA if it goes through, and not only receive a raise, but my credit rating went up. And I'm the only person in the world who went, "Oh." So, that's kind of the update. I'm still doing well in schooling. Um, of course, not about a week after I got back from the hospital, um, I passed another test that I had to do, which is funny, not funny at the same time. It's just kind of hilarious that, yeah, I managed to shove this test through. I literally finished the objective assessment. I passed the objective assessment, turned right around, did the test. Like, just get this out of the way. So I'm clicking along pretty good with schoolwork, but keep your fingers crossed because you guys know, you know how I can procrastinate. Um, I'm famous for it. So those are the updates. I figured I had to tell you guys about the collapse lung because if I did not, somebody would find out and they'd be like, "Dude, why didn't you say so?" New haircut, new car, which the new car, when it comes to like insurance, I pay more, unfortunately. When it comes to taxes at the end of the year, I'm going to pay more. But what I save for like gas is ridiculous. What I spent for like an entire month for electricity, there's literally a charging station right up the road from me. I mean, just right up the road. What I spent in 1 month, one, 50, $60. Normally, what I would do for gas, 80, 90. So I'm like saving money right there. And if I go at certain times, which you know me, I'm a night owl, on the weekends, I go at like between 2 and 5 in the morning. So I save because I go between 2 and 5 in the morning. So there's loads and loads of good things. Raise, credit limit raised, new car that actually saves me money, even though I pay more for the car all the way around in many ways. But yeah, and collapse lung. So it has been a wild ride just this month. Most of the time, it's just go to work, school, go to work, school, go to work, school. Um, my husband had a job briefly. We managed to get him one, and they abused him so badly. He had been, everything had been clicking along good. He'd been there for a couple of weeks, and then he got put with somebody who was just so awful. And he was like, "I am so sorry." I basically told him to go pound sand. Getting paid minimum wage is not worth that. I'm like, when he told me what happened, I was like, "Yeah, no. If I had observed that happening, I'd have told you to leave because no, that's just insane." So I'm looking for him again. Um, keep your fingers crossed for that. This man is like itching to work so bad. He's got his pain kind of managed. There's good days and bad days, but he's been wanting to go to work. He wanted to go to work a year in, and I didn't look overly hard, but I've been looking for like the last year, of course, when the jobs market is pretty much in the air because, the guy who's running the joint right now bankrupted 6 casinos. And he's busy bankrupting us whenever he's not busy robbing us. And has completely tanked absolutely everything and destroyed our reputation amongst the world. So, there's that. That's not stressful at all. But I wanted to go ahead, check in, let you guys know how I'm doing. As it is, as always, I'm completely over time. You guys have to like listen to me blither for like 5 million years. 30 minutes. Oh my God, does she ever shut up? My eldest is also still looking for work. He had a sales job. He's not good at sales. Um, but that was like a while back. He's been looking ever since. It's been a lot harder for your Gen Zers to find something. He just really, really sucked at it. He was going to put in his 2 weeks, but they kind of like told him, well, we're just going to phase you out in 2 weeks. So they 2 weeks him for him. I'm still not overly fond of his creature. I think they're a psychopath. I'm not fond of them at all. I think he could do way better. They not only tanked the ass end of his high school years, where his grades just plummeted the last 6 months, but they've pretty much tanked him being able to do anything as a fully functioning adult, because they are now an adult themselves with the mentality of a 12-year-old psychotic. Yeah, so that's my poor eldest. My youngest might be doing a program this summer for digital media. He is a fantastic artist. I'm hoping to get him into something that has to do with electronics, robotics, art, that type of thing, because that's where his happiness lies. So keep your fingers crossed for him. Keep your fingers crossed that we can find something for hubby. And keep your fingers crossed that my head doesn't implode at work while I'm doing work that I used to do that I thought that I wasn't going to be doing anymore. Neither here nor there. It all moves forward. Um, but I'm okay. For a hot minute there, I wasn't. And I did it to myself out of fear of telling somebody that I was doing pretty poorly. I honestly thought it was a pulled muscle. I really did. I'm like, I do not want to tell my management I'm going home over a pulled muscle. So I walked around for 14 hours with a collapsed lung because of that. So, genius me. But as it is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video, fold some laundry, get back to schoolwork, because my life normally is about as much fun as watching paint dry. But I look forward to hearing from you or not. The crickets may come out. And honestly, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Instagram. You can see me on Blue Sky, but I'm like in and out of there. I'm very, very rarely on there. I have a Substack. Don't ask me why. I got the Substack mostly so I could read other people's Substacks. But yeah, I have one. It's just that the only social media that I've ever really been interested in has been Livejournal and Dreamwidth, and I really don't even have time for that. Um, I have a Discord. I don't think I've touched that in years, even though it like ticked off my eldest because I'm legacy. So I got to change my name and update my status, everything on there before he could. So yeah, me and social media is not a thing. Then I know some people have drifted on and gone on to Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of that, but I'm still here like, any other old person doing what I did 20 years ago. So, yeah, there's that. hopefully by the time March 2027 comes around, you'll see me more often. Unless I decide to go for a master's, then I can put myself another 2 year hole. Uh, just we'll see what happens. The very fact that I am still walking around and breathing and being an idiot on a regular is thanks to that hospital, St. Clair's. They are marvelous. Their nursing staff is awesome. Their doctors were awesome. Um, I really need to like get like an unhealthy fruit basket or something for these guys because they did a pretty good job. They saved me from my stupid self because I was just gonna like tiger bomb and go lay down, which laying down was impossible. I did tell my husband I'm not laying out flat. I will not get back up. Everything will collapse, which probably should have been a clue. My husband, as usual, is right about it. So he's been smug for a minute. But yeah, I'm still here. I still miss you guys like mad. I'm so pissed that I have not been catching up with anybody at all over the last couple of years. Whenever I have, it's been hit and miss, and I've missed what's going on with Eve and the little ones, and Kathy and her hubby, and oh my gosh, there's just so many people that I'm missing out on. And I want to let you guys know that I do miss you. Um, I think about you all the time, and I just really wish that the mobile app for Livejournal and for Dreamwidth was better, because then I probably could post while I'm on a train or on a bus. But they're not. So you get occasional pop-ins like this, where I record for well over 36 minutes to let you know how I'm doing randomly. But until the next random time, that is my check-in, guys. If you are celebrating Memorial Day, um, we all remember those who have given so much, and I can only hope that by the time the 250th ends, that we will still have something there to celebrate. I have a feeling we will. Americans are kind of an odd bunch. We do have a tendency to pull together whenever things get dire. So hopefully I will be posting long before then. I will let you guys know what is going on. Hopefully it will not be another year before Vidpost goes through. Um, but I did want to pop in, let you guys know what's happening. Um, so until the next time I do get a chance to sit down and either type it out like a normal person or do a vid post, just know that I am thinking of you guys. I miss you all. If you want to fill me in, DM me, email me. I am still answering emails. I do still answer phone calls. Um, but until I hear from you guys, know that I miss you. I love you. I look forward to being back with you all soon, come March 2027. And yeah, take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And I love you guys.